Greetings, it's Wednesday, January 13th. I have 5 new subscribers. VideoGameGenral, THEkraahkan, MCRA 3005, FamilyProblemsSeries, and Internetianer. Welcome. Thanks for subscribing. Certainly appreciate it. Okay, the intermittent fasting is going alright. I think I'm adapting to it pretty well. I did have a pretty good slip up last night, but it was due to some extenuating circumstances, I think. I had a round of reflux, acid reflux. And if you've ever had it, you know how nasty that can get. And I ended up having to have something to eat to kind of give the acid something to do besides chew on my stomach and esophagus. I guarantee you it wasn't because I liked it or anything, because everything was colored by the taste of stomach acid. Ugh. Yesterday's video, I'm sorry, that was nasty. It really was. I don't like the way that turned out. I don't like the fact that it took 6 hours to actually produce the final file. And, you know, it was a great idea. It really was, because I wanted to have this fractal zoom movie running in the background behind me. And it was a really great idea, but there are obviously some bugs in it, because it ended up looking like a bunch of still pictures with a voiceover. So I won't be doing that trick again anytime soon until I can work the bugs out of it. In other news, I'm thinking about basically kind of broadening the horizons of what I'm doing here, because, well, okay, it's like I really enjoy doing the cooking episodes, and frankly I need to do more of them, and I'm going to try very hard to do more of them. And of course I want to continue the part about weight loss and my personal weight loss journey from 350 pounds plus down to my goal of 200 pounds. And I want to continue with that, but frankly there is a lot more that I'm interested in, and there's something that I've figured out about YouTube recently, and that's by I'm looking around at the more popular people, you know, the ones that you always see on the front page of YouTube in the most popular section, the most popular videos. You see the same faces all the time. You know, you see Shane Dawson, you see Ray William Johnson, Philip DeFranco, Smosh, Kev Jumba, Fred, Nigga Higa, and a whole bunch of others. There's one thing about all these people that I see as being pretty much a constant, and that is that all of them seem like they're living in big cities. Now, there's nothing wrong with that, don't get me wrong, but I'm thinking the perspective of the small town is something that you don't see much on YouTube. You don't see it that way, and honestly, this country started out as a collection of small towns and villages. I mean, Manhattan did not just rise up out of the Atlantic, all built and ready to go. I'm thinking that the point of view of Joe Schmo in a small town, and by a small town I mean a small town, a place with less than 5,000 population, that point of view is, I think that point of view is kind of lacking. It isn't there. You don't see it that much. I'm sure there's plenty of people on YouTube that are from and live in small towns, but you don't see a whole lot of that point of view. It doesn't seem to be very prominent. And so what I'm wanting to do is to look at a lot of things, current events, news, politics, or whatever that's going on, whatever that catches my interest, you know, whatever my interest goes to at the time, or whatever is in the news at the time. I want to look at some of this stuff from a small town point of view, because I think the small towns in this country and in this world even have a lot to contribute, but they kind of tend to get lost in the shuffle with all the big city stuff. Not that there's anything wrong with the big cities, aside from all the crime and overpopulation and noise and pollution and da-da-da-da-da, but that's neither here nor there. You know, there are downsides to living in a small town too. So that's what I want to try to do, is to have a look at as many things as I can, and I'm not limiting myself to any one subject, because frankly my interests go a lot of different ways. I can't just limit myself to talking about one thing or doing one thing. I see something that I just have to say something about, and it may not seem like it's relevant, but really it is. Everybody's opinion counts, and the guy in a small town, I think, wants to hear from the small town people in addition to the big city people. We'll see how it goes, but I really think that the small town perspective is something that you don't see very much on YouTube, and I think that that needs to change. And I would like to be a part of making that change. And you can help by taking a few seconds to subscribe, hit the 5-star rate button, leave a comment, and we'll get this small town point of view out there where people can see it. Most people do live in the big cities. I understand that. But the small towns are important too. Okay, yesterday's comment question of the day, which actually ran for 2 days because of the troubles I had uploading and then processing and then yada yada yada. If you could direct the remake of a classic science fiction movie with modern special effects, which one would it be, and what changes, if any, would you make to it? Today's comment question of the day is directly related to something I was just talking about a few minutes ago. What size of an area do you live in? Is it a big city, medium-sized city, a small city, a large town, small town, village, whatever? And for my purposes, like I said before, a small town is an area with less than 5,000 population. So how about this? Leave a comment telling me the approximate population of the city or town or village, whatever, that you live in. Doesn't have to be exact, just give it a rough estimate. I'm really, seriously, very interested to know this. And if you're watching this video days, weeks, or months later, please leave that comment anyway, because I really want to know this, and there is no expiration date on this question. And as always, I'm the TinfoilChef.com. Thanks for watching this episode of Equals Pie. The dirty word of the day was submitted by Beth, an NC blogger. Dennis.